Everyone, attack! The order sliced through the tension, a call to charge into a chaotic fray. Yet, the advance faltered, halted by an unexpected command. Nobody move. Why? A challenge arose, questioning the sudden shift in strategy. Why are you stopping us from attacking? Disbelief and frustration filled the air, confusion gripping the ranks. Stop attacking. Stop attacking. The plea echoed, a desperate attempt to control the escalating situation. Mr. Hunter Wayne, a voice called out, seeking clarity amidst the disorder. It's all right, Chairman, came the reply, a thin thread of reassurance in the face of uncertainty. Just what are they thinking? A voice murmured, laced with bewilderment. Are they really trying to engage with that many creatures without a long-distance assault? A critical observation, underscoring the apparent recklessness of the strategy. The air shifted, a new presence entering the scene. Grand Marshal Bellion, the Shadow Army, and I humbly present ourselves to our monarch. A formal declaration, a show of respect to an unseen authority. What is that? What the hell is going on? The tension rose, disbelief mixing with awe. Are you seeing that? Only one of them would be enough to endanger all of humanity. I can't believe there are 3 of them in one place. The scale of the situation was becoming terrifyingly clear. So this is the real Shadow Army, a voice whispered, a sense of wonder mingling with trepidation. Is this the legacy Ashbourne, the former Shadow Monarch, passed on to me? A moment of realization, a weight of responsibility settling onto a new bearer. The real war starts now, Korea's Hunter Association. A declaration, heralding a new phase in the unfolding events. A few days later, the narrative shifted, transitioning to a different setting. An emergency conference room, buzzed with anxious energy. Foreign media outlets are creating a mess, demanding a statement. The pressure was mounting, international attention focused on the unfolding events. The American Hunter Association is asking if we could make Hunter Sung Jinwoo's location public. The demand for information was growing. The City Hall disaster headquarters are asking if they can allow the evacuated citizens to return home. A desire for normalcy clashed with the ongoing crisis. The Hunter Channel Jimmy Show is requesting an interview with Hunter Sung Jinwoo. The media was clamoring for access. Jimmy my ass, a voice retorted dismissively. Tell them they can go interview him, if that's even possible. The task was viewed as unrealistic. Hunter Sung Jinwoo's summons happened to emerge at that moment. Do you think that there should have been magical beasts pouring out of that gigantic gate yesterday? Is that what you're saying? What? The questions were laced with frustration and disbelief. Oh, I didn't mean it like that. The response was hurried, defensive. If the calls were not from interview requests, but instead from families of the deceased hunters, asking if they were still living, do you think we could have handled everything with a "we are too busy" attitude? The question was harsh, a critique of their actions and their lack of focus. Over 100,000 magical beasts emerged from that gigantic gate, and they were absorbed by Hunter Sung Jinwoo's troops. Could anyone have imagined this possible? The scale of the situation was truly unprecedented. I understand how surprised all of you may be due to Hunter Sung Jinwoo's sudden disappearance. A voice attempted to interject, seeking to bring calm amidst the storm. But this isn't the first time he's been so elusive. It's about time we got used to it. A call for acceptance of the unpredictable nature of their ally. If we, the Hunter Association, can't understand Hunter Sung Jinwoo's anguish, who else can? A moment of self-reflection, a recognition of their own limitations. I apologize, Mr. Chairman. I misspoke, came the admission, acknowledging a misstep. I wonder what Hunter Sung Jinwoo is doing right now. A voice mused, a mixture of curiosity and unease. The scene shifted once again, to a different battleground, dividing the unit into 2 and conducting a preliminary test of strength. It's not like they can be hurt. A display of strategy and efficiency. My Legia, please demonstrate if I have the requirements of a Grand Marshal. A challenge presented, an eagerness to showcase their abilities. Requirements of a Grand Marshal? A moment of self-reflection. I, as a commander, will challenge Grand Marshal Bellion. A clear challenge was issued. Is he a sword type like Igress? He's much larger, including his sword, a voice observed. He must specialize in power, rather than speed. A tactical analysis of their adversary. Then, there is a chance of winning for Barrow, as well. The hope was subtle, a possibility in the face of daunting odds. Is it over already? Disbelief tinged the question. He neutralized Barrow's charge instantly. He has better reflexes than I expected. On top of that, each blow is powerful enough to shake the ground. Is this his way of demonstrating that he is more than qualified to be a Grand Marshal? But we should never relax our defense, since the most resilient strength of an insect is its tenacious vitality. A final warning. Beijing Capital International Airport. The narrative shifted, revealing a new setting and a new perspective. Oh, I see Hunter Liu Jigang over there. Here we see our proud hunters returning from assisting South Korea. While many are praising Liu for his valiant actions, there are a few voices questioning why we must assist South Korea. Is there anything you would like to say about this, Hunter Liu? Who has been speaking such nonsense? Excuse me? The question was posed with a sharp edge, an offense taken. Do they carry their heads as an ornament if they cannot even read a map? An aggressive tone, a challenge to the intellect of those who spoke out against their actions. Can you really not see what is looming just above South Korea? If you ever encounter an idiot who speaks such frustrating nonsense, tell them this. I, Liu Jigang, went to assist because I believe that I could not overcome any disaster that Hunter Sung Jinwoo could not. And if anyone has a problem with that, they can go challenge those creatures themselves. A clear and firm rebuttal. No way, a voice whispered. Is that so? So the Shadow Monarch has switched sides. All right, I'll take care of him. You guys don't do anything further. Losses must be avoided. A new objective emerged. The decision was made. Soldiers, prepare for battle. A final command, preparing for a new confrontation. Everyone attack. The command echoed, a desperate call to action amidst a chaotic scene. Yet, the momentum faltered, the advance halted by an unexpected directive. Nobody move. Why? A challenge arose, questioning the sudden shift in strategy. Why are you stopping us from attacking? Disbelief and frustration filled the air, confusion clouding the ranks. Stop attacking. Stop attacking. The plea was repeated, a desperate attempt to control the volatile situation. Mr. Hunter Wayne, a voice called, seeking guidance amidst the disarray. It's all right, Chairman, came the reply, a fragile thread of reassurance in the face of mounting uncertainty. Just what are they thinking? A voice murmured, laced with incredulity. Are they really trying to engage with that many creatures without a long-distance barrage? A critical assessment, highlighting the seemingly reckless approach of their allies. Then, a shift occurred, a new presence entering the fray. Grand Marshal Bellion, the Shadow Army, and I humbly present ourselves to our monarch. A declaration, spoken with a formality that belied the raw power on display. What is that? What the heck is going on? The tension intensified, disbelief and awe mingling in the air. Are you seeing that? Just one of them would be enough to put all of humanity in danger. I can't believe there are 3 of them in one place. The scale of the situation became terrifyingly clear, the magnitude of the threat suddenly and undeniably apparent. So this is the real Shadow Army, a voice whispered, a sense of wonder tinged with apprehension. Is this the legacy Ashbourne, the former Shadow Monarch, passed on to me? A moment of realization, the weight of responsibility settling upon a new figure. The real war starts now, Korea's Hunter Association. A stark declaration, signaling a new phase of engagement. A few days later, the narrative shifted, transitioning to a different location and a new set of challenges. An emergency conference room, buzzed with restless energy. Foreign media outlets are creating a mess, demanding a statement. The pressure was mounting, international attention fixed on the unfolding events. The American Hunter Association is asking if we could make Hunter Sung Jinwoo's location public. Demands for information were growing louder. The City Hall disaster headquarters are asking if they can permit the evacuated citizens to return home. The desire for normalcy was clashing with the ongoing chaos. The Hunter Channel Jimmy Show is requesting an interview with Hunter Sung Jinwoo. The media clamored for access, their inquiries adding to the mounting pressure. Jimmy, my foot, a voice scoffed dismissively. Tell them they can interview him if that's even possible. The task was deemed unrealistic. Hunter Sung Jinwoo's summons happened to emerge at that moment. So you think there should have been magical beasts pouring out of that massive gate yesterday? Is that what you're saying? What? The questions were sharp, laced with frustration and disbelief. Oh, I didn't mean it like that, a voice responded hastily, backpedaling from the statement. If the calls weren't from interview requests, but instead from the families of the missing hunters, asking if they were alive, do you think we could have managed everything with our "we are too busy" attitude? The question was critical, a harsh judgment of their priorities. Over 100,000 magical creatures came out of that massive gate, and they were all absorbed by Hunter Sung Jinwoo's troops. Could anyone have imagined something like this? The enormity of the situation was almost beyond comprehension. I understand how surprised all of you may be due to Hunter Sung Jinwoo's sudden disappearance. A voice tried to interject, seeking to bring calm amidst the chaos. But this isn't the first time he has been so elusive. It's about time we get accustomed to it. A call for patience, a plea to accept the unpredictable nature of their ally. If we, the Hunter Association, cannot understand Hunter Sung Jinwoo's suffering, who else can I apologize to, Mr. Chairman? The voice was filled with regret, taking responsibility for the criticism. I misspoke, came the admission, acknowledging their error. I wonder what Hunter Sung Jinwoo is doing right now, a voice pondered, curiosity mixed with a subtle hint of concern. The scene shifted once more, to a different kind of testing ground, dividing the unit into two and fighting a preliminary skirmish. I never thought of that. It's not like they can be eliminated. A display of strategic planning and absolute confidence. My Legia, please test if I possess the qualities of a Grand Marshal. A challenge was presented, an eagerness to prove their capabilities. Qualities of a Grand Marshal? A moment of self-assessment before embarking on the demonstration. I, as a commander, will challenge Grand Marshal Bellion. A bold declaration of intention. Is he a sword type, like Igress? He's much larger than Igress, including his weapon, a voice noted, observing the opponent closely. He must specialize in power rather than speed. An analytical assessment of their fighting style. Then, there is a chance of winning for Barrow, as well. The response offered a glimmer of hope. Is it over already? A voice questioned, disbelief evident in their tone. He neutralized Barrow's charge instantly. His reflexes are more refined than I anticipated. Furthermore, each blow is forceful enough to shake the ground. Is this his way of indicating that he is more than capable to be a Grand Marshal? But one should never become careless, since the greatest strength of any creature is its stubborn tenacity. A final piece of strategic advice. Beijing Capital International Airport. The setting shifted, presenting a new location and perspective. Oh, I see Hunter Liu Jigang over there. Here we see our proud hunters returning from aiding South Korea. While many are praising Liu for his brave efforts, some voices are questioning why we needed to help South Korea. Is there anything you would like to say about this, Hunter Liu? Who has been speaking such nonsense? Excuse me? The question was sharp, filled with offense. Do those individuals have heads as ornaments, if they can't even interpret a map? The tone was aggressive, critical of those who oppose the mission. Can you not comprehend what is looming above South Korea? If you happen upon an imbecile who voices such frustrating nonsense, tell them this. I, Liu Jigang, went to help, because I was unsure I could manage any disaster that Hunter Sung Jinwoo could not handle. And if anyone has a problem with that, they can confront the creatures themselves. The statement was bold and assertive. No way, a voice murmured in disbelief. Is that so? So the Shadow Monarch ended up switching sides. All right, I'll handle him. You guys don't participate any further. Losses must be avoided. A new objective was presented, a decisive shift in the balance of power. Soldiers, prepare for battle. A final command, heralding the approach of a new confrontation. Kiki, my Legia, a voice murmured softly, filled with a deep affection. Kiki can still go on, Beru. The tone was determined, resilient. Why are you so focused on becoming the Grand Marshal? Another voice asked, a question of motive. Kiki, I shall become the Grand Marshal, came the immediate reply, unwavering in its resolve. And always be by your side, my Legia, the speaker added, solidifying the bond between them. Then the Grand Marshal can stand on my right, and you can be on my left, they stated, outlining a future built upon loyalty and companionship. The king's favor is Iron Man dash. A joyful exclamation, filled with admiration. Don't, my liege, a voice cautioned softly. Please, also allow me to have a chance to compete with the dash. The desire for challenge, for growth, was apparent. You can be behind me, huh? The response was thoughtful, filled with affection. What are those beings doing? A new voice entered the conversation, observing the subtle changes occurring around them. Isn't it unfair to be holding the marble of greed? The question was laced with a touch of skepticism. What are they preparing? Another voice inquired, curiosity rising. They are planning on making a small resting place, so you can rest comfortably while we are here, came the explanation. My Legia, did Beru order this? A voice questioned, appreciation evident in their tone. I must inform people of the 8 armies that could arrive at any moment, a voice declared, the tone shifting to one of seriousness. I have to let them know that a conflict is approaching. I cannot promise the safety of everyone, nor can I promise that the world will remain unchanged. The words were stark, a realization of the harsh truth that lay ahead. That's how immense the King of Dragons' power was, when I saw it through Ashbourne's memories. The memory was a chilling one. Mom, how is it? Isn't it delicious? A gentler tone filled the air. I had no idea that my brother could prepare something this well. The moment was a brief respite, a reminder of normal life amidst chaos. The King of Dragons and its army of destruction reduced all before them to ruin, and these adversaries now target Earth, the voice stated. The threat was clear. You should have a try too. Brother is very skilled at preparing sides as well. The tone was warm, filled with affection. And that is why everyone must prepare themselves for what's to come, Jinwoo. A warning was given. Is something going on? Jinwoo asked, sensing the subtle shifts in atmosphere. Hey, what are you speaking about? When your dad was about to embark on something risky, he often prepared a meal like this for me. The past echoed ominously. You really do take after your father. The observation was spoken with tenderness. It's not like that, Mom. I believe we have a visitor. A new element had been introduced. I'll go to greet them. Huh? But there wasn't even a doorbell, the voice questioned, laced with surprise. What is the matter, Hunter-son? The question was direct, demanding an explanation. I apologize for arriving without notice, but would you please give us some of your time? The request was polite, but the underlying tension was undeniable. I believed that my awakening from my endless slumber was because I was special, but then I understood that such occurrences don't occur so easily. A revelation of humility. And since the only beings who have ever woken from that sleep were your mother and I was forced to think that you were somehow connected. The explanation continued. Why did you help me? The question was straightforward, seeking an honest reply. I concluded that you are a person worthy of trust. Had you been someone who would do anything to obtain what you desire, I wouldn't have risked my well-being to save you. The answer was blunt and to the point. So that means it is because I did not try to take advantage of Jinho. Understanding began to dawn. Yes, and I do not know how to properly express my gratitude. Please, allow me to repay at least half. No, half of your favor. I implore you, what is it you want? The offer was genuine, a heartfelt desire to reciprocate. I don't have any desires for myself. However, should something come to pass, could you please look after my mother and sister? The request was simple, yet carried a tremendous weight. Would that truly be enough? The question was laced with a mix of doubt and concern. Yes, it would be plenty. The reply was firm, assuring the speaker that it would be more than enough. Isn't the taste a little salty? A question was posed about the prepared food. I understand. Please, leave everything to me. I will give you my word. The promise was made, sealed with intent. This is the immense gate in Shanghai, China, but it's not only in China. 8 colossal gates have appeared globally, nearly simultaneously. A report was given. Hunting in, do you believe those forces are your armies? The question was directed toward another. No, they are not. They are our enemies. The answer was absolute, chilling. Chairman, do you have trust in me? The question was direct, seeking confirmation. Yes, I do. The reply was immediate. Then, please trust what I am about to show you. A request for faith, for an earth-shattering revelation. How can such things be possible? A voice exclaimed, filled with disbelief. I always thought that the gods had granted unique abilities to a small portion of humanity, and that is the reason we had to protect humankind by confronting the demonic beasts. But if what you are showing me is really the truth, then my beliefs have been foolish. I have misunderstood everything. Their entire worldview was being challenged. To consider that hunters and awakeners are the only beings that could survive the real conflict, as if they are eliminating certain beings to have only some humans alive. This is not a conflict between humans and the monarchs. It is a war between the monarchs and the rulers, between two groups with unimaginable power. How could this be happening, Hunter-son? And you are thinking of going up against such adversaries all by yourself? The sheer impossibility of the situation was clear. Yes, came the simple reply. Then what should we do? How could we possibly offer assistance? The questions came fast, revealing the utter helplessness of the situation. Did anyone else mention they would be coming? A new question, seeking specifics about other incoming forces. No, sir. Only the 152 countries I reported to you this morning. Are all of them just? The reply was filled with concern. What did Hunter-son tell you in your office yesterday? I've never seen you look that pale. A pointed question was made. I apologize. I shouldn't have asked. It's fine. The army of dragons emerging from within the shadows and the enormous dragon flying behind them, that has a majesty such that even if all the hunters of the world combined against it, they wouldn't even leave a scratch, and the oppressive power that was enough to reduce all land to ashes with a single breath. The speaker was clearly shaken by the encounter. How can Hunter-son possibly consider going up against them? Huntin in, it's Weijianchel. I have gathered the representatives from all the countries. As you instructed, a report came through. Where are you right now? Yes, I just arrived. I guess asking your location now is meaningless. There will be widespread chaos when people discover the truth. Some nations will be unable to manage it. I am very aware, the speaker stated, knowing the ramifications of what they were about to do. If that's what you believe, then the truth will be made known to the entire world. A voice, smooth and measured, broke the silence. There's quite a gathering here today. So many influential figures, all feeling the pressure, no doubt. The speaker, his face unreadable, continued. It would be advantageous, wouldn't it, if Hunter-son Jinwu were to offer some reassuring words? A statement that these gateways, they'll pose minimal threat, much like before? A subtle shift in the hall. The hope, barely concealed, of a quick resolution, a simple reassurance. But the voice cut through the rising optimism. If Hunter Sung were to say something drastically different, I fear many would face a grueling struggle, a contest none could evade. They'd appear before our very eyes and bring a great upheaval. A ripple of unease spread through the room. Whispers erupted, questioning the validity of the claim. A man, his voice laced with skepticism, dared to challenge the speaker. Why should we believe this? That even national-level hunters will be inadequate to stop this? Are you saying hundreds of entities, with the power of that catastrophic event, will emerge? He hesitated, the name Kamish a chilling reminder of past devastation. It's simply unbelievable. Another voice, laced with urgency, joined the chorus. Proof. Give us tangible proof, or we will refuse to accept this outlandish claim. A murmur of agreement spread like wildfire through the assembly. You expect us to believe that hundreds, with such destructive capabilities, will suddenly materialize? A pregnant pause followed, filled with the charged energy of disbelief and barely contained panic. Suddenly, the room grew colder, a tangible chill descending as several portals, shimmering with unnatural energy, began to materialize in the hall. They appeared without fanfare, disrupting the pristine environment. How? The word was a strangled whisper. How is this possible? A man, his face pale, stammered. Aren't these gateways? A wave of comprehension washed over the crowd as the speaker, his tone devoid of triumph, responded. Hunter Sun Jinwoo created them. Multiple gateways, all at once. He paused, letting the impact of his words sink in. And that is the key. Our adversaries can materialize gateways whenever and wherever they choose, just as I've done here. They are only delaying their advance due to the sheer magnitude of their forces. A low hum of dread now permeated the hall. Suspicion, sharp and venomous, now took hold. Hunter Sun Jinwoo, a woman accused, her voice trembling. Could it be you are aligned with them? The entities you brought from that previous gateway, did you bring them to harm us? Another chimed in. Of course, we trust you. But if we know what's to come, what action is to be taken? The speaker, his expression still calm, offered a simple instruction. Stay far from the gateways. Distance yourselves as much as possible. His words echoed in the hall, a chilling premonition of the chaos to come. News of the conference spread like wildfire. A warning, stark and terrifying, had been delivered. Humanity was facing an insurmountable threat. Panic set in as people desperately sought distance from the mysterious gateways. Cities emptied, highways clogged as the populace fled, the fear a tangible weight on every heart. Across the desolate expanse, within one of the newly materialized gateways, a figure stood, assessing the bleak surroundings. Barrow, he called, his voice echoing in the silent expanse. Come here. A massive form lumbered into view, its features contorted in displeasure. You call this a proper place? It barely contains me. Is this meant for me to reside in? A smaller figure approached, a sly smile on its face. I believed nothing less would satisfy you. He gestured to a flag planted at the edge of the gateway. Mileage, why did you place that flag? Was that your scheme? What happens to an army when its monarch is no longer? Would you control my shadow army? Barrow's voice, deep and ominous, resounded. If you are to cease to be, so too will our existences be extinguished. Our lives are one with yours, Mileage. The smaller figure responded. Their loyalty is both a boon and a curse. They put their master's life above their own. Our enemies will seek to use this. A figure stepped closer, his face grim. My liege, in open combat we are at a great disadvantage. What is their army like? I estimate their forces to be 100-fold greater, the smaller figure replied, his tone somber. At least 10 million individuals. The large figure scoffed. That is what I would have said to Hunter Sun Jinwoo, if I had his details. A world away, in Canada, a figure addressed a gathering of hunters. No matter how great of a hunter he may be, not everything he says is the truth. We won't let him claim all the gates for himself. The Canadian hunter's confidence was matched by their preparations. Other powerful hunters were now gathered across the world, preparing to confront what would come through the gateways. A decision was made, a division of efforts. I will head to China. I cannot combat 8 armies at once. I will deal with the closest threat to my family first, and then handle the rest of them. News trickled in, reaching the speaker as he prepared for his upcoming confrontation. Japan and Russia are assisting Hunter Sung, whilst Canada is determined to face it alone. Canada? They will not survive. He turned to face the ominous portals ahead. It seems that those who do not heed my words are foolish indeed. In China, the speaker had arrived. The airport teemed with crowds. It was apparent that the local government was not here, but instead, a group of individuals, all standing near a large, ominous gateway. They were making idiotic signs, so I decided to greet you personally, so we are seen from the airport. And this is the gateway, and these are the 100,000 hunters of China. 100,000? This must be their elite. He watched the soldiers standing, waiting for something. Suddenly, a vast shadow descended from the sky. Figures, dark and imposing, fell to the earth, their presence filling the horizon. Those will all land here. A man muttered, his eyes wide with fear. Another questioned, is that all your summons? One of the shadows approached the speaker and demanded, the left of the king is my place. Who dares take my spot? He is on our side, replied the smaller figure. It can communicate with them. The portal began to shift. The gateway is opening. A ripple of confusion swept across the hunters of China, for nothing was emerging. It's strange. I cannot feel anything from the gateway. What about the other locations? They are the same. All of the gateways are empty. A realization struck the speaker like a blow. I made an error. I believed their forces would be divided across multiple gateways. Instead, they have gathered all of their forces into one single point, as far away from me as they could. To think everyone is mindlessly relying on Hunter Sun Jinwu, a woman commented from afar. Hunter Sun Jinwu chooses to head to China whilst Japan and Russia have agreed to assist him. We will not give up on Canada. We will win, no matter what. At that moment, the portal began to open as a single figure stepped through. Strange, the woman commented. There's only one of them, a human. That's just a person. The lone figure approached the stunned hunters. Are you the king of this place? That's no demonic beast. One of the gathered hunters said. Another followed. Demonic beasts are able to make their own gear and use the runic alphabet. They have levels of intelligence on par with us. They just don't wish to communicate until now. I knew it was like this. The reason Hunter Sung was able to make the soldiers from the gateway his own is because he was able to communicate. The lone figure now spoke directly to the shocked onlookers. So what if I am the king? I cannot confirm what's going on in Canada. Hold on, I have Adam White of the Hunters Bureau on the line. Adam, what is going on at Canada's Colossal Gate? We're on the side of Canada's Colossal Gateway together with other agents. Why are you there? We cannot just sit and watch Canada. A lot of agents are with me. They still don't realize the scope of the enemy. Have there been any changes at the gate? No, it seems that it was empty, like the others. That's a relief. Hold on a second. Something is coming out of the gate. It's a person. A person? Adam, move. Move as fast as you can. The hunters. They turned to ash instantly. Adam, get out of there. Dragons from the sky. There are countless dragons and beasts. At that moment, the speaker of the conference reached out, his power pulsing, ready to activate. We will be teleporting now, Hunter Sun Jinwu. But a menacing voice echoed across the land. Where do you think you're going, Shadow Hunter? Sun Eye? Hunter Sun Eye, the voice echoed, a low growl, carrying through the desolate landscape. It was a stark declaration, a challenge hurled into the face of the gathering storm. Damn it, came the reply, a mixture of frustration and grim understanding. I should have anticipated this. The figure, cloaked in shadow, moved with a purpose that belied the chaotic circumstances. Knowing they face my shadow army, which grows stronger with every drawn-out engagement, it's logical they would minimize the battles. He paused, analyzing the situation. They opened 8 gateways, as if following their initial plan. But they then diverted their entire force towards a single point, the furthest gate from me. My strategic miscalculation. A wave of self-reproach washed over him. Even if I moved there immediately, it would be an all-out clash. My time-buying tactic has failed miserably. He looked to the west, imagining the battle raging on the horizon. Hunter Sung Jinwoo, humanity in Canada. Can I truly do nothing to change this? A low, haunting sound filled the air, the thrum of a heartbeat, the piercing echo of desperate cries, and the tearing symphony of destruction. It resonated, a twisted melody. Yes, a cold voice hissed, preparations are complete. Reduce everything to ashes. This is our purpose, the very reason for our being. Across the ravaged land, the echoes of conflict grew. They must all be gone, a frantic voice reported. The hunters, the agents, the reporters, hundreds of dragons, and waves of giants, beasts and insects, behind them. This onslaught is beyond anything humanity can withstand. The words were a chilling prophecy, a declaration of an end. They are all gone. It's all over. It's just a matter of time before they arrive in the U.S. The voice, laced with despair, continued. Now I comprehend why Hunter Sun cautioned everyone to remain far from the gates. This world is finished. That's correct. It's finished. A new voice cut through the despair, smooth and even. Hunter Sun, I am paying you a sudden visit because I am searching for something. Rhinestones? A stunned silence followed. Please hand over the rhinestones left behind by Kamish. As you likely know, the Hunters Bureau manages them. The voice paused, a hint of sardonic humor coloring his tone. What am I even saying? Why does the Hunters Bureau even matter any longer? Those rhinestones mean nothing when everything, including the Hunters Bureau, is about to be swept away. Excuse me, the man replied, the shock giving way to confusion. I believe I am still intoxicated. I can relinquish the rhinestones, but why are they so important? I intend to use them to initiate a counterattack, the new arrival declared. Didn't you mention that beings called rulers sent those forces here? Then, these rhinestones, found within the bodies of the entities, what are they? The arrival elaborated. They are gifts from the rulers, meant to assist humans in hunting down demonic entities more efficiently. The rulers desire intense conflict between humans and those entities. The sacrifice of humanity is a side effect of creating the conditions in which mana may take root here. When a demonic beast ceases to be, their abilities are sealed within these rhinestones. His voice grew more urgent. The rulers created these to assist humans in engaging the beasts. Can you truly stop them using these? I must attempt it. I need one more favor from you. A thoughtful silence fell. I never imagined anyone would be searching for me at such a time. Another voice, soft and laced with a deep sense of foreboding, broke through. You are not as you once were. A deep darkness has always been within you, but now you are the darkness itself. I am the same individual you knew, madam. I have simply become one with the darkness that you perceived, he replied. Back then, you told me you could envision the future, so I request you to look into mine. A profound silence filled the air, broken only when the woman whispered, I understand. Her voice was heavy with concern. You plan to take this entire situation on by yourself? How can a single person bear such a burden? Do you plan to protect everything, at the cost of your own essence? She seemed to understand. That means I can make it there at least. What do you mean, thankfully? This will be a lonely struggle, with no one left to recall it. Please, excuse me for this sudden visit and this strange request, Hunter Sunday. The scene shifted. It's me, Jinwoo. A voice, both familiar and distant, called out. Are you truly Jinwoo? Yes, I am. I apologize. I have been occupied recently. It's okay. I have also been very busy. It has been quite some time since we last interacted. A bittersweet moment amidst the chaos. Since we have both been so busy, let's meet again soon. The response was immediate. Yes, let us. A somber request followed. Jinwoo, can you promise me you will come and visit me? The answer was equally clear. Yes, I promise. I will go see you. We should be departing now, another voice chimed in. Yes. News reports flickered across screens, images of devastation flashing by. The Asian Hunter Alliance, the European Hunter Alliance, the African Temporary Guild Union, and the Chinese Emergency Response Alliance. Hundreds of thousands of hunters are converging to engage the enemy. I am right here, the voice echoed, no longer in a whisper. I have already reduced tens of millions of your kind to ash. A challenge was laid bare. How long do you intend to remain hidden? I will be meeting with you soon.